see it this morning. Jeremy's once again gonna do some things that I'm sure are gonna blow our mind. He does it every single week almost these days, and I couldn't be more happy with it. So, Jeremy, just tell us what's going on in the world, and then get us to the next level.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks, Gordon. Thanks, everybody, for jumping on. So it is Memorial Day weekend. So shout out to anybody that has served or is serving, or, we appreciate always those that defend our freedoms. And, that is why we're able to do what we do. Right. And so thank you. Thank you. It is, one of those amazing things. We kind of get to be in this forefront, the battlefield of decentralization, right? I like to say that we are ambassadors. We are representing this whole thing with decentralization in a way. There's a lot, right? There's a lot of people out there promoting different blockchains and decentralization and everything. And I think the takeaway is that for the first time ever with Cirrus and the Nodi blockchain is that the whole point is to bring blockchain to the masses, right? It's to bring blockchain and make it easy enough that everybody can participate, because other blockchain projects, unfortunately, they're really for investor mindset. They're for people that really understand the whole idea, and they want to get in ahead and everything. And honestly, it's for people that have a little bit more money than most people have, right? Because you're all they're offering is basically just coming in with nodes, and that's it. And so what we have for us in the story, what I'm going to train on today, recruiting with the story, is this idea that everybody can participate in blockchain now and be rewarded just for living your life, just for going shopping, just for going out to dinner and saving some money, just for booking a hotel and saving some money on a hotel, just for doing a meeting like we're doing right now, right? We're bringing blockchain to the everyday person. And that is what's so fun. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we will get started with this on how to recruit with the story of Cirrus Networks. Okay, hopefully you can all see that, and we will go ahead and jump into this. So, of course, we have to start with our disclaimer. We're not talking about investments. We're not talking about buying and selling tokens and contracts and financial products or anything like that. No guaranteed money or anything. What we're saying is we are talking about a decentralized platform with amazing products and services that people can use and be rewarded for, thanks to the fact that it's tied to a blockchain. So simple as that. Okay. All right. So how are we going to share Cirrus without sounding like a pitch, right? That is the key. Like, we are ambassadors. We're being rewarded in one way, and we're being paid in other ways through the affiliate and network marketing model to get the word out about Cirrus and the amazing Nodi platform and products and services that are available there. So how do we do that, right? And that is the question, because traditionally, when we sign up for these kinds of things, the average person is maybe going out and getting 2, 3 to 4, maybe 5 people. But this is so cool. This is so amazing that we really shouldn't limit ourselves and go into it with that kind of mindset. This is so compelling that I think it should be easy to personally invite and bring into Cirrus Networks hundreds of people. Okay, it really should be possible. So we're going to talk about the 60-second story formula. There's 4 types of prospects, the 5 objections that we would normally run into, and then 5 platforms of content. Okay, so here's the number one mistake that most recruiters are making. It's because it's not what you say, it's the order in what you say it in, right? So here's what most people do. The pitch is they'll say, oh, this is a blockchain opportunity. Or you'll say, ooh, no, nodes, rewards, having wallets, all these things, right? And what they hear is, it's a crypto thing. It sounds complicated, right? And then what do? You send that 47 slide presentation, that hour-long presentation. They're never going to open it or watch it, right? And what are they going to say? They're going to say, let me think about it, which means no, right? And then the result is that you get ghosted and you feel defeated, right? That's usually what happens. So what we're going to try and do is, instead of pitching it, we're going to tell a story. Okay. So we're going to open with a question about their situation, right? Simple. Just get to know them, see what's going on in their life. Okay. And then you share a relatable what if you knew then moment. Okay. That's the key thing. What if you knew then what you know now, right? And then they're going to start to feel a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And then you're going to offer just one clear next step, not everything. You're not going to share the whole, this is why it's so cool, right? No, one clear next step. Now they're going to say, oh, well, tell me more on their own, right? And then the enrollment happens naturally, okay? Because people, they don't join opportunities just because. They join stories that they see themselves in, right? That's what's so key. Okay, so here's the formula, right? So it's 5 parts, always in this order. You never skip to the end, right? So the hook, first thing, can I ask you something? If you had known about Bitcoin in 2009 when it was less than a penny, would you have put something in? Right? It's going to get, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, opens with curiosity, right? Not commitments. And it gets you a yes right away. You're getting that first yes. Oh, yeah, that would have been amazing. Yeah, I wish I would have known about Bitcoin back then. Oh, that would have been so great. Okay. So then you go to the bridge. Right. Everyone says that, right? Well, guess what? I'm looking at something right now that's in that same early stage, right? It just got listed on CoinMarketCap yesterday at two tenths of a cent, right? It's just right at the very beginning. So now what we're doing is we're anchoring Node, right? Node into something they already believe in. There's no jargon yet, okay? Just something, oh, okay, yeah, this is working. Now you put in some proof, okay? So it's a real blockchain with working products, cloud storage, video conferencing, productivity suite. People are using these things every day and earning tokens just for subscribing. Whoa. Okay. So now we're getting some legitimacy, right? Real products, not just hype. It shifts from crypto gamble to tech company, right? Credibility, proof. All right. Now the stakes. So you can then say, and their first halving just happened. Okay. So it's been a whole year. They've been in business a whole year, exactly like Bitcoin is doing, right? Which historically is when prices start to move. Okay. And I'm already earning these daily rewards that I'm stacking at this price. So it creates a little bit of urgency there, right? Without pressure. You're already in. You're just sharing. You're not selling. Okay. And then the handoff. I don't want to throw everything at you, but I did put together a little short overview. And if it's not for you, no big deal. Want me to send it over? Okay. So now it's just a low commitment ask. You exit gracefully, regardless of the answer. There's no desperation, none of that. All that in just 60 seconds. Okay. So very easy, low pressure, and you pique their curiosity. Now they're going to be like, oh, yeah. Okay, you're probably going to get a yes on that, right? Just a short presentation. Already. Oh, yeah. How do I position myself? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we've got to kind of figure it out, depending on their response, depending on what they say, and kind of, you might know who they are a little bit already, but there's the 4 types of prospects that we're going to run into, right? So we've got the digital landlords. Okay, these are the people, they just want the numbers. Show me the numbers. So yeah, it's very easy to lead with the Bitcoin comparison. You can talk halving cycles, you can talk scarcity, you can talk historical patterns, you can show projections on the table, all that stuff, right? Because all they want is data. They're not, the emotional type. Okay. So just, hey, Bitcoin was $12 at its first halving. Guess what? Noti just hit the coin market cap at 0.2 of a cent. So pretty cool. Then you got the builders. So these are people that they want to grow a team and earn residual income, right? They're the networkers. They're people that we've probably dealt with in the past, most of us. So you can lead with the reward structure and how the SaaS subscriptions compound. You can show how the Omni Plus is paying all the rewards every day. You can talk about the circular economy and how subscribers generate rewards indefinitely, right? So you could say, hey, what if your subscription paid for itself? Or every person you bring in generates rewards for you. Then there's the tech curious. So you can say, talk to people that they follow crypto, like they believe in it. Okay. But maybe they're just not, haven't found the right one, or they, they're looking, they're just seeing, hey, what's the next awesome one, right? So you can lead with the fact that, hey, it's a layer one. This is a layer one blockchain. There's only 39 of them in the world. All the rest are layer two or layer threes, right? And we have a layer one with some cool layer twos coming on top of it. It's already listed on CoinMarketCap. So they already understand gas fees and halvings and wallets and so on. So you can kind of go deeper faster with them, and they'll research it themselves if you give them the right stuff, right? Hey, yeah, go check us out. We're on GitHub. We're on all these different things. We got our Certex certification, right? So you can even use the jargon CMC, right? Coin Market Cap, they use CMC, right? So you can just say, oh yeah, it's just listed on CMC at 0.2 of a cent. The first halving just happened, and they're going to be excited. And then there's just the lifestyle seeker, right? Which I think is probably the majority. Okay. So it's just people that say, I just want more freedom, not a second job, right? So you can lead with the services, cloud storage, video calls, savings, all the kinds of things like that. And you frame it as, what if the tools you use daily paid you back? Simple as that, right? And we're going to get a Visa card here pretty soon that is going to allow you to earn crypto just for your daily expenditures and be able to use that later for other things. So really cool, right? You can say, what if your Netflix style subscription earned instead of costing you? Imagine paying your bills with tokens you earned just by being a member, right? And I think that's going to be the lifestyle person is the majority of people we're going to talk to. Okay, so starting the conversation. These are some openers that create curiosity, not eye rolls, right? So if you're in person, okay, or doing a direct message, you could say, hey, are you open to looking at something in the crypto space if the timing is right? So it's permission based, right? And they'll say yes before you begin, right? Like, most people are open. Oh, okay, yeah. Or, hey, do you ever wish you'd gotten into Bitcoin early, right? I might be looking at the next one. Nostalgia hook. Almost everyone says yes on that. Or, hey, I'm not here to pitch you anything. I just found something early and you came to mind. I'd like to share it with you, right? So it disarms them immediately. You're not pitching. It's itself a pitch that works, okay? And then you got the quick question one. Quick question. Do you pay for cloud storage or video calls already? And it just ties to something they're already doing, right? Low barrier, no crypto knowledge needed, easy. Now, let's say you're doing social media. Okay, maybe you're on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you like to use. So you could put a post. If you knew about Bitcoin in 2009 and you'd be retired right now, right? I'm watching something right now at 0.2 of a penny. Post like this gets saved or saves and direct messages, right? Not likes. It's people reaching out to you. They're like, oh, what is it? Okay. Or you could just put something simple. My cloud storage is paying me. Thread, boom, right? Oh, okay. So this is a pattern interrupt. It reverses the expected dynamic. Or you could just post, just got my first Noti reward deposit. Here's what I'm going to do with it. Boom. So you show, don't tell, right? Personal proof builds trust first. Or you could put, the first halving just happened. Here's why that matters for regular people. It's just, these are hooks, right? Hook, curiosity creation type posts or conversations, messages, and it engages people into the conversation. And then how you follow up, right? So you say, hey, I know I mentioned this last week. Just wanted to say that token listed on CoinMarketCap since then. Okay. Now you got new reasons to re-engage, right? Or you could say, I was just thinking about you when I saw Bitcoin's halving history. Similar pattern with what I'm doing. Okay, so you're connecting to their interest again. Or no pressure at all, just wanted to share this short explainer I put together, 3 minutes max. Or I earned so many Noti tokens this week. I figured I'd show you guys what's actually happening. Just short, sweet, simple. Creates curiosity, right? You're not vomiting it all to everybody, just freaking them out. It's just, what is it? What are you doing? Okay. So here's the key one, of course, is the what if you knew then phrase. So this is the single most powerful framework in your entire recruiting toolkit. Why it works? Because everyone already believes they missed Bitcoin. We all believe that. We all know that. We're not convincing them of anything new, right? You're giving them a second chance at something they regret missing. It bypasses skepticism by anchoring to something they trust already. Most people trust Bitcoin, Ethereum, even before knowing what Noti is. The question, it's not a statement, right? Invites them to mentally commit to the premise before you even make a case. And finally, their imagination does the selling, not you, right? They already picture themselves holding Bitcoin when it was less than a penny. Okay. So here's some word for word examples. You can do the classic one. If you had $500 in Bitcoin in 2009 when it was less than a penny, you'd have over $36 million today. Most people I know said that they heard about it, but they didn't act. So I'm watching something right now that's in that exact same early window, right? It works on almost everyone because there's high emotional pull. There's the Ethereum angle. You say, hey, Ethereum launched at 31 cents, okay, in 2014. It hit 4,800 in 2021. That's a 15,000x return. So Noti is a layer one blockchain with working products just listed on CoinMarketCap at 0.2 of a penny. The halving just happened. This is the moment. Or you could do the service angle. What if you had a Netflix subscription, but instead of just losing money every month, the subscription actually paid you back in token that was also appreciating in value? That's literally what I'm just doing right now with Noti. Okay? That's for lifestyle seekers. And then there's the scarcity angle. You could say the halving just cut the daily token supply by 50%. Fewer tokens being minted every day, same growing demand. That's the exact setup that preceded every major Bitcoin price rally in history. And I'm stacking now, well, it's only 0.2 of a penny. That's for action takers. All right. So now let's talk about objection handling. So we're going to turn every objection into a deeper conversation. Okay. So the halving shock, right? So people might say, oh, the rewards just got cut in half. Why would I join now? Well, that's exactly the reaction people had every time Bitcoin was cut in half, right? But it's actually what when the smart money got in, okay? Because the halving doesn't reduce value, it reduces supply. So fewer new tokens every day means each one you're earning right now is worth more over time. Bitcoin went from $12 to $1,000 after its first halving. So you're not late, you're actually early, okay? And just I just thought of this while I was reading it. The other example you could give is oil, right? The reason that gas costs so much, it doubled, is because the supply cut in half, basically, right? There's a reason, when things happen in the world, and you have wars in Iran and other places, and crazy things going on, what happens? The supply goes down, so the price goes up, right? That is simple way to explain that. Okay. The other one is the low price objection. People might say, oh, it's only worth 0.2 of a cent. That sounds worthless. Well, that's the point. Okay. Bitcoin was less than a penny in 2009. Ethereum was only 31 cents. Solana was only 50 cents. Every generational wealth creator in crypto started at a price that looked insignificant. So 0.2 of a cent isn't a weakness, it's the opportunity. The question isn't what it's worth today, it's what it's worth when the ecosystem is fully built out, right? Then there's the legitimacy objection. Oh, I've heard about other crypto opportunities before. Is this just another one of those crypto MLM things? And you say, yeah, fair question. Absolutely. Noti is a layer one blockchain. the same category as Ethereum and Solana. The services like cloud storage, video conferencing, they're real products that people pay for regardless of any income opportunity. The token is listed on CoinMarketCap. This isn't a company paying you to recruit. It's a technology ecosystem paying you for using and expanding a real network. Okay? There's the complexity objection, of course. Just I don't understand crypto and blockchain. It's too complicated for me, right? Just too much. Well, you could say you don't need to understand how Netflix services or servers work in order to use Netflix, do you? Right? No, you just subscribe, you use the service, and in this case, you're earning daily rewards that go in your wallet automatically. Okay, the Vaultix wallet just holds it for you, right? And the AI Visa card is going to let you spend it. That's it. The most complicated part is deciding which subscription to start with. Simple, right? And then there's the money objection. I don't have the money right now. Well, yeah, I hear that. Absolutely. The mini nodes are just $100, safe subscription, $10 a month. But honestly, the bigger cost might be waiting, because if the token goes to even just a penny, every day you're not earning it is a day of rewards at a fraction of today's price. Is it timing, or is it something else holding you back? Right? You can ask them that. Right. So here's some ideas just for platform content strategy. If you're using social media, Facebook, who's that for? Facebook is people right around 35 to 55 on average right now. Obviously, there's older people and younger people in that, but that's kind of the bulk, right? The bulk of people using Facebook are between 35 and 55 right now. It's relationship driven. They're skeptical of hype, right? And so it's good for doing long form personal posts and doing Facebook Lives and going in groups and so on. So you just lead with your personal story, why you're using Noti, sharing what you're learning, not what you're selling. Okay. You can do some trainings on what the halving is and all that kind of stuff, right? And the call to action is just DM me info and I'll send you an overview, right? Simple on Facebook. If you're using YouTube, this is for people who really want to do their research, right? They're willing to watch 10 to 20 minute videos. A lot of times they'll put them on, double speed, which is funny. I can't do that myself, but my son, he does that. He puts everything on like double speed and listens to it like super fast. Whoa. Okay. But anyway, so that's really good for education, right? YouTube videos, you can do trainings, just do full walkthroughs, what's going on in the world of crypto and everything. So yeah, and how to set up your wallet and things like that. So pretty fun. Okay, then you've got TikTok and Reels. Now this is for the younger generation, obviously, right? 18 to 35. They got that shorter attention span. They're trend driven. Okay. And in this one, it literally is just 15 to 60-second hook videos. That's it. And you got to have audio, right? That's the thing. With TikToks, they've got to have the latest music on them, or they don't get watched, which is interesting. So you can just be real quick, get on there, do a quick. And the thing about TikTok that people love is that it really is one of those things where you do not have to be formal at all. Zero formality, right? It's like you could be just out walking on the street. You could be, in your pajamas. You just do a quick, 10, 15-second video. Hey, this is what I'm thinking today. Blah, blah, blah. Boom, and it goes, right? So fun to learn. Not everybody gets it, but TikTok, you can just do that and say, hey, comment Noti and I'll send some info, right? Instagram, visual. That's for visual learners, people that like images and that's how they learn is visually. So you can do carousels and stories and stuff. Really fun, right? Instagram's a great way to do it. Just put up a picture that shows the savings, right? Or shows what's going on, so you can take some of the content that we've been getting from testimonials or whatever, and just put those onto Instagram and say, hey, if you want to learn more about this, contact me. And then Telegram is, you create your group on Telegram. It's very centralized, actually. And, it's your community, and people can, participate and comment and everything. So, and tell people, hey, join the group. because I'm going to be here training on this, and away we go. So lots of different strategies depending on where you want to go on social media. But the idea is to do the follow-up, right? So we're going to follow up because the fortune is in the follow-up. We've always heard that, but most people give up after just one message. And that is the key takeaway, I think, from all of this is we put it out there, but if you're not following up, it's not likely you're going to get any people actually wanting to do it, right? Because most people are too shy or too distracted or too busy to do it on the first contact. So you gotta just do it 3 to 7 times, right? Just don't give up on them. Don't think that they're ghosting you. Don't take it personal. Don't think that that they're uninterested just because they didn't sign up on the first go. No, all of us are so busy and distracted and we're being pulled so many different directions that one time is not going to do it. You literally 3 to 7 touch points before people are going to take action. Okay, so your job isn't to convince them in one message. It's to stay present with value until the timing is right for them. That's the key, right? So touch one, initial outreach, share a 60-second story. That 60-second story I just mentioned, drop the hook, and with a little commitment, want me to send more. Your goal is to get a yes, right? But not to enroll them. That's not the goal. You're not going to try and enroll them right away. Okay. Then touch two, after 3 to 4 days, right? Just, hey, you know what? This is what's going on. Here's some information about how Bitcoin did its halving. No response needed. Just thought you'd find this interesting, right? You're just giving them some value. Just giving them a little bit of information. That's it. Okay. And you're just educating without pressure. Then by day 7, okay, touch number 3. Hey, just wanted to share that something new, right? New milestone, reward update, token, whatever. Still happy to do a quick call if you're interested, and you're just re-engaging. That's it. Okay. Then day 14, touch number 4, soft close. I know it's been a couple weeks, genuinely no pressure, but I'm enrolling a few more people this week. Wanted to give you first right of refusal before I move on. Okay. You're just going to give them a graceful deadline without ultimatum, and then touch 5 and on, right? So this is now a monthly thing. If they still haven't signed up yet, just continue sharing reward screenshots, price updates, new product launches. You're not asking, you're just existing in their awareness, okay? And when the timing shifts for them, you'll be the first call. That's it. That's how you do it, okay? All right. So what's your weekly action plan? Consistency over intensity. 5 focus actions done every week will beat sporadic bursts. We got to be consistent. That's another key component to all of this is the consistency. So maybe just think of it this way. On Monday, it's your outreach day. That's where you're going to send 5 fresh openers, okay? Direct message, in person, whatever, using that 60-second story. You're going to identify which of the 4 prospect types each person is, because you're going to get to know them, right? And then you're going to record which version of the story you used and the response, okay? So you can batch that. You could do all 5 in one sitting if momentum matters, right? Just take 20 minutes on a Monday to go and do this. Send 5 fresh openers. And then on Tuesday, this is the content day, right? So this is where you're going to post one piece of education. You're going to share a personal reward update. You're going to respond to every comment within 2 hours, right? You can repurpose trainings that we've done in the past, whatever. Wednesday is then follow-up day, right? So that's where you do touch number 2 on all the Monday leads. You're going to send that value, not asking. You're going to check in with them. You're going to check in with the last week's touch 1 leads, right? This is touch 3 for those from last week. And then you're going to identify 2 that might be ready for a live call or a demo, right? And that's when most enrollments are going to happen. It's on the follow-up, not on that first contact. Then Thursday could be learn and share day. So you can watch or rewatch one of the trainings. You can post a what I learned this week style update. You can share a new angle with your Telegram inner circle, whatever. Your credibility is growing as they're seeing you do it, okay? And then on Friday, it's review day. So you could just count the conversations that you started, responses, Next steps, you can screenshot your weekly reward total and share it. You can plan next week's 5 outreach targets. So there's just a simple what you can do each day of the week to make sure that you're doing your business every day, okay, in a consistent way. Okay, so here's the numbers game. This is what will happen if you actually start to do this. So if you're starting 5 conversations, okay, 5 per day times 5 days, well, that's 25 people that you've contacted in a week. Now, of those, maybe you'll get a 40% reply rate, right, with some strong openers. So, okay, so that's 10, right around 10 per week. Now, of those 10, 40% will want to know more. So there's four people of the 25 that actually want to watch a video or, see an overview or something. Okay. Then 50% of those will actually engage, right? And so let's just say two a week that actually engage and do it. And then let's just say one of those 50% actually signs up. Okay. So that's what it's going to take. 25 contacts a week for one enrollment, right? But here's the thing, in 4 weeks, you now have 4 enrollments, okay? So if they're getting in on the, the full bundle or whatever, you can, plan on earning $400 to $600 in new subscriptions, right? And then in 8 weeks, there you got your 8 enrollments, residuals, and then SaaS rewards are starting to compound, okay? In 12 weeks, you've got 12 enrollments now. Your income is growing with commissions and the token price, and then you're just teaching that duplication. Those people are going to do the same thing you just did, okay? And it just turns into something amazing. So what not to do, here's what you're not going to do. The fastest way to kill momentum and how to avoid it. Number 1, sending the full presentation deck on the first contact. Don't do that. Why it fails is because it's information overload. They haven't even opted in yet. You're asking them to do homework before they even care. Who wants to do homework, right? Before you even care? No. Lead with curiosity, no content. Just send one of the hooks, one of the questions, one next step. That's it, right? Don't post, DM me for an amazing opportunity on social media. Don't do that. Why it fails is because this is the universal signal of MLM desperation. Your credibility drops instantly. Your audience has seen this 1,000 times. It's better to post education or personal experience and then let those direct messages come to you, okay? Chasing people who said no or didn't respond. Don't chase. Why it fails? Desperation. It's contagious, okay? One unresponsive lead does not define your business. There are 8 billion people. Just keep moving. Touch the 3 times, then add this to the monthly awareness content, but don't beg. Never begging, okay? Don't lead with the compensation plan or income claims or reward amounts. Don't do that. Why it fails? Because it's signaling that you care about your money more about their situation, and it's a compliance risk, right? Because now it's an income claim with contexts that break the FTC guidelines, and we don't want to get in trouble. So lead with the product story. Compensation comes after they're curious. Don't over-explain blockchain or crypto to non-crypto people. Don't do it. Every sentence that they don't understand will increase resistance. You need curiosity, not confusion. So they don't need to understand Ethereum to be able to subscribe to Safe, right? So just match their vocabulary, keep it in their world until they ask deeper questions, and then don't stop when it gets uncomfortable, right? Why does that fail? Because recruiting requires hearing no far more than yes. So the discomfort is the filter that separates people who build from people who quit. So reframe every no as just one conversation closer to a yes. Run those numbers. They're in your favor. All right. So here's your 5 key takeaways for today. First, stop pitching. Start storytelling. People will join a story they see themselves in, but not a compensation plan they barely understand. Number 2, use that 60-second formula in order: the hook, the bridge, the proof, the stakes, and the handoff. Never skip to the end. Number 3, know your prospects. The same Noti story hits differently for an investor, a builder, a tech curious, and a lifestyle seeker. Number 4, every objection is a doorway. The halving shock, the low price, the complexity, each one has a reframe that turns resistance into curiosity. And number 5, consistency beats intensity. 5 conversations per day, 5 days per week with 3 follow-up touches. You run the numbers on that and they will always work in your favor. So that is the training, my friends. Hopefully that was helpful. We have an awesome opportunity this weekend to share with as many people as possible, but set a goal to start this next week. 5 new contacts every day. Use that formula and you will start to see amazing, amazing things in your business. So, all right, questions, comments? Let's look here in the chat. What do we got?
Hey, Jeremy, that was fantastic. I mean, once again, you come through doing. I mean, it's amazing how you get so good every single week. Real quickly, I think we might want to look at the chat real quickly. We've got a couple of people who chimed in. Vaughn said something that was real interesting, and let's see. He said, "Where is it now?"
Oh yeah, when the first transaction was made with Bitcoin,
Yes,
pizza.
Yep. 0.002, right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
There. And then Mark Golding comes back and says, by the way, he's been tracking our coin, and we went from 0.001 to 0.0038, right? You know, which was hit a high of that, and it's going to keep going up. And you know, I think the reason for that, I think the reason that our coin is doing so well so fast is because of the business model that we have here. All of you understand in the direct sales MLM type businesses, everybody is close to everybody. You're bringing in your friends, your family, your neighbors. You're bringing in people that you're already attached to. That's never been done on blockchain. And what really gives blockchain the value is participation helps. And if you think about it, when we came out with our value, the reason it was 0.002, which is a high start out time, that's high. The reason it was that high was because we had over a 90% of our people voting on the blockchain. And that's unheard of. They've never seen that on blockchain before. Usually it's about somewhere between 40% and 50% of people actually vote that have nodes on their blockchains. We had over a 90% rate of voting, which means we're all connected. We have a power that other blockchains don't have. So I think just that is going to leapfrog us going forward as we move through this thing, if we can keep those percentages high. But Jeremy, that was fantastic. Anything else that you wanted to mention? And I'll tell you, just as you know, Stephen and Lynn weren't here tonight, but for today, but they will be here next time, and we'll get this over to them.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Gordon. Appreciate everybody else for jumping on. I will get the recording out to all of you. Make sure you share it with all your team and your leaders to make sure they're trained on this. Because that is the key to everything, right? Is the fact that we don't have to do it alone. I can go get 10, 20 people personally signed up, but then the magic is when those 10 to 20 people I brought bring in their 10 to 20 and their 20, and now that's how, through the power of duplication and leverage, we have major success, and everybody wins in the end, right? All right, so with that, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and we will see you all next week. Thanks, everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jeremy.
Bye-bye.